everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and you're...
It's a... The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. This one fielded at the 5. Gets past one man. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And they'll be led out by the guy under center, Charles, their quarterback. First down, Berger. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 6 catches, 59 yards.
And he's able to pull that last pass in, but this is usually a pretty tough unit to try and maneuver against. They're in the top 10 in the league against the pass, and you and I both know there's not much difference between...
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Well, these sacks are really piling up. Last week, it was a half dozen sacks. And here's one on the opening drive.
And it has the potential to be what we call a gap, a game-altering play. Because, let's face it, you just mentioned 6 sacks last week. Now, if you're an offense and you saw that on tape, you've got to think to yourself, maybe I bring people in, keep them in, and try and protect my quarterback. It didn't work on that play.
3 and out, a real danger here on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 12. Operating from the gun, Berger, and he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Trust me, Brandon, I'm not about to try and take your job. I can't do what you do. But that wasn't just 3 and out. That felt like 3 and backwards.
That's exactly what it was. You can have my job whenever you want it. The drive that you're looking for, though, probably going forward, bad start to the ball game.
Yeah, not the way to get things going.
He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. A 39-yard punt, a return of 5, and the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. So here comes the Raiders offense now onto the field. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Over the middle, it's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
To throw now on first down. And he rifles one incomplete. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
2nd down here after the incomplete pass. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6. And the big meat on the D-line. We'll see how they do today.
And I'd hate to be an offensive lineman having to deal with these guys. They come in hungry, mean, and confident. They think that no one can block them.
And the Vikings with an extra defender in the secondary on 3rd.
Playing coverage here.
They'll look to throw here. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
So on 4th down, here's Marquette King to punt it away. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak can have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. And that'll set them back 5. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Berger. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes. All right, I'm doing my rudimentary math here. That's his 3rd catch here in the 1st quarter. I don't know if it's just game plan or he's just finding his way open.
And maybe a little of both. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. Back to throw. Berger. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 7 yards on the play, and it'll make it 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Partner, your thoughts on this D-line?
I love a unit that can control the run and get after the passer. This is an all-around terrific defensive front. Hard to move the ball against them on the ground, and then when you want to throw it, look out. Here they come after the quarterback.
So the incomplete pass brings up 2nd down. To throw again. Berger. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. And I know it seems like we say this a lot in broadcast booths, but a quarterback can hold on to the football too long in these situations. I think he did right there.
Oh, I agree with you totally. Sometimes you have to understand situations. Get rid of the football, save some yardage to make it less to gain for the next down. Instead, he was so hipped on ball security, he held on to it and took a big sack.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth.
Wow, that play got shut down in a hurry.
As soon as the snap came, you could see defensively they were just closing in. That was going nowhere.
Yeah, you count on your offensive line to give you a little bit of space, a little bit of time so you can make a move. There was none there for him.
On the NFL scoreboard, an update from up in Seattle. And it's the Ravens that have moved out to an early advantage. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28. The numbers for him from a week ago, 22 carries, 93 yards.
And their success running the ball in the previous game has to give them a lot of confidence, but they also understand going against a top 5 rush defense means you have to have a lot of offense in your game plan. Misdirection, counters, power game, maybe even some quarterback run to take the heat off of the running back.
And he takes this one just shy of midfield all the way to the 49. And now a first down following that long gain. Oh, incomplete. The rookie had it and lost it there. And it'll be 2nd down.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
All right, here we go.
He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now. A 3rd down, he tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He caught it, but was led a little bit too far.
Yeah, and that's always difficult, isn't it? Because you know half of your body is trying to stay behind while the other half is reaching out, trying to catch the football. The top half worked. It was the bottom half that was in question.
And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. And at least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Oh, a free safety blitz. That can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
And the Raiders call on a nickel set for third down. Looking to throw. Berger. He's going to air one out. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
What I loved about meeting with these coaches before the game is we didn't even have to ask any questions. They told us that they were going to be aggressive and push the ball downfield. They weren't successful on that play, but look for them to try it again later.
Here's Ryan Quigley now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field.
And this is their third drive. Maybe the focus right now not so much on points, but getting their first down.
And when you start off a game, you don't even think that's an issue, do you? But you go a drive, a second drive, no first down, that becomes an issue. Now you got to think about, okay, what type of play calling do I have to do to get us in a spot to pick that first one up?
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. So incomplete on first. Let's see what second down has in store.
Here we go.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up fourth down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion.
And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. That's taken on the 25. 43-yard punt, but they get 9 back on the return. And the Vikings will take over here first and 10. There he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only the DB's going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily, fell incomplete.
Green 39.
Back to the air on second down. Berger, and he'll get up to the 43-yard line. It's a gain of 9 yards, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1. And before they can run another play, the clock hits triple zeros. And time is up on the first quarter. The Vikings are in the lead early. And we're back to Oakland after this. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. They've got a third down and a yard to start things out.
Here we go. 3-19.
Back to throw. Berger. And that is incomplete.
On 3rd and 1, I think everyone in the stadium thought they'd try and run the football there, but they tried to surprise the defense and hit something through the air. Instead, it results in an incompletion.
Here's Ryan Quigley now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This is taken at the 18. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now Oakland ready to take the field. So far they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now sometimes if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll be brought down here at the 28. An 8-yard gain, so that gets him halfway there. Now they're left with a 3rd and 8 more. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Here we go. 3.
A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The game plan for any defense is finding ways to make a quarterback uncomfortable in the pocket. When you bring pressure from all angles, you never know who's going to get home. In this case, the left cornerback, right in the face of him, puts him down.
Here's Marquette King now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And it's fielded at the 34. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and give these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. Throwing to start the drive. Berger. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. 15 yards through the air and a 1st down.
One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver and almost on a direct shot able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
Here we go.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple yards out of it, because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And a pretty good run there in the end to top it off. Forbath out to kick this one away. This will be taken about the 12. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out, and 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now.
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Newton. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Now they try the right side here. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Newton. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
The Raiders on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Back to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. So it can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Right, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah. Not
an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Off the play fake. Berger. Going deep downfield for Ross. He's got a man complete. They give him a gain of 38.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
Throwing on first down. Berger, nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. They'll swat it. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Raiders pick it up. And he will force his way forward for a yard or two, but I have a good feeling this will be coming back. So they lost yardage, and they declined the penalty. There's no logical reasoning to do that.
I'm trying to go through this little Rolodex in this small brain of mine, and I'm coming up with nothing, partner. I've got zip on that one. Take the yardage, right? Take the penalty. I don't get it.
I don't get it either. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's able to get up here to the 26. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the first down.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Newton. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
Now let's go!
They'll look to throw here on first down. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 1:59 to go in the first half. We'll come back to Oakland after this. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Larry Ridley is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. He'll drop to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that'll make it a second down. He'll look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those, too.
They're going to look to throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. The Raiders try to move quickly, try to get everybody back to the line. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle, and they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. And that field goal caps an 11-play drive.
That's a lot of offense to run to only get 3 points, but they'll take them. Anytime you can put anything on the board, you run to your sideline somewhat happy.
And now out comes Minnesota. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You've got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. Throwing to start the drive. Berger. And down he goes. Brought down a Raiders sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play.
All right, Brandon, we'll see if I can get through this without being skipped as we welcome you to our EA Sports Halftime Report. The Raiders right now have a time of possession advantage, but it has not led them to taking control of this game. The Vikings, though, are still right in this game and will certainly be looking for a way to pull this one out in the second half. So let's take a look at the highlights from the first half. Vikings opening up on offense. Harmon's able to zero in on the QB here. This goes for a loss of 9. Hit to late in the first. Harmon's going to take down the QB here. This ends up as a loss of 9. Now second and 8. Some phenomenal blocking on the run here. And he'll take it in for the touchdown. That takes the lead up to 10.
Thank you, LR. Appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
They'll drop the throw. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build.
And he can't escape, and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's Marquette King now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. 37 yards on the punt with no return. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
And how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
Partner, I think the easy thing now would be to just abandon the run and start throwing the football at all costs. But I've been in so many games where it doesn't work running the ball, and then something pops, and now you get something going. I'm not so sure to just abandon your game plan this early in the second half.
Offense needs something here on second down. It is second and long. Off play action. Berger. He finds Ross right side. It's complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And give him a gain of 37.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. On 1st and 10, Berger, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but if the other team doesn't get it, that's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
So they almost turn it over there. Scary moment. Second down here. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 12 yards is the pickup there, and they're going to have a third down.
It seemed like the situation was second and a mile to go for a first down, which screams what? Throw the football. You got to pass in order to try and pick up that kind of yardage. But in this case, they ran a tendency breaker because the tendency is for defenses to be out there and be set up for a pass. So you break tendency and actually run the football. That changes everything because if you're able to find a crease, you often have bigger guys working against smaller guys downfield. They picked up excellent yardage there to bring up a third down.
So they're going to come to the line here, and it appears try to go for it on fourth.
Green 39.
From the gun, Berger. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll take a break and get a report from Oakland after this. In the red zone this time.
Here we go. Green 39.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. Again, he'll drop to throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
So the sack on first down there by the defense. And now it's second down. And he'll give it here to his running back. And this carry, despite the good move, will be stopped short of the 10. Only a couple yards there, and that's going to set up a long 3rd and goal.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
This offense bent the defense in their long drive downfield, but once they got within sight of the goal line, the defense went to don't break mode and is stiffened.
And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through, and they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. So put another 3 on the board, and all things considered, a good opening drive here to begin the 3rd quarter.
It sure was. I think as a head coach, you're happy to come out and put a little drive together, take the 3 points, and build on your lead.
Forbath now to kick it away after the made field goal. This will be taken about the 12. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Yeah, quick throw here. That's complete. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right.
The Raiders on third down, as bad as you can be. 0 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
All right, here we go.
Now back to throw. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Here's Marquette King now, as he's on to punt for Oakland. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super toe.
A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
3rd quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
They'll run it now out of the gun. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. Well, that play was doomed right from the start.
They just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
On 3rd down, Berger. Now he's going to go up top over the middle. This is caught inside the 15. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15, just shy of the 10. And that one results in 35 yards. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
Back now in the East Bay. It's the Vikings in possession of the football and the lead. They'll be looking to add to that total as we begin quarter number 4. They run the counter now on first down. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
Let's go. Blue, land it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. And in this situation with a lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. And when you're running the football, one thing you don't want to see is a big boy coming up there and swallow you whole in those D tackles and nose tackles.
No, you're actually counting on your big boys to protect you from them. But on that play, the defensive tackle had the leverage, and he won the battle. No gain, correct?
No gain. And Forbath will put this one through, and the lead stretches. 16-3 now. So they settled for just the 3 there, but clearly anything helps when you're trying to salt one away here in the 4th.
Without a doubt, I think a touchdown would have been the final nail. But 3 does give him some breathing room and lets him build up a little cushion.
Forbath now to kick it away after the made field goal. This is taken near the 13. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. They'll look to throw now on first down. And he fends him off. Over the middle, complete. That's Ballard. Despite the heavy running, he'll be hit and drop shy of the 45. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that'll make this a second down.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
He'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Newton. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
That throw good for 4. It's second down. So they complete the pass, and now they face a second down.
Let's go. Blue, land it.
They'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Newton. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
Well, that was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up third down.
Let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
Looking to throw. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays
Here
out.
we go. Blue line it. Blue.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. The Raiders try it on 4th down, but to no avail. And it'll be a turnover on downs. Well, they were looking for a clutch play there on 4th, unable to come up with it.
How about that defense, though, huh? How about that D?
Yeah, momentum swing.
And, you know, I remember playing how much 4th downs were emphasized. You know, because, as you said, it's a momentum play. It's also a big test for you. You know, if people are going to go for it on 4th down, they believe you're not up to the challenge. You want to show them differently.
And now out comes Minnesota. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But also have to remember, they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
The Vikings on 3rd down. Just 1 conversion in 8 tries. Not good. This will be 3rd and 5.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Operating from the gun. Berger. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down.
Well, there's times when you see these catches that are made, and we just know the guys playing it are really wishing for college rules. Only need that one foot down instead of 2. It's awfully difficult on the side.
And now the up man has it. It's a fake. And he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool him.
Anytime a fake doesn't work, we usually focus our attention on the guys that were unsuccessful. But how about the defensive guys? They have to plan all week. They have to prepare all week. Special teams, it looked like they were educated for that one.
Educated on their toes and getting a big stop. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say maybe under pressure, and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Back to throw here. And Beasley with it over the middle. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. Those short little routes probably going to be open. The defense, they'll let those happen, especially when they can make an inbounds tackle.
Yeah, where's Coach Madden when you need him? He always talked about taking what the defense gives you, but sometimes you have to know when you have to take more. That was one of those situations.
The Raiders on 3rd down. Can you believe it? 0 for 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 9.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue line it. Blue line it.
They'll set up to throw. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. A Raider 1st down, 17 yards. And a two-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
All right, here we go. Boom, landed.
On first down, he'll drop to throw to the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Now let's go. Green
Time for a
39.
break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. 6 yards to go here on second down.
Field right, field right. Watch the green. Here we go now. Green 39.
They'll look to throw here. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
Detroit! Detroit!
On third down, he'll drop to throw. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. The Raiders try to move quickly, try to get everybody back to the line. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Looking downfield, and that's caught right side. He's got his man. It's a pickup of 21, and the Raiders are going to have a first down. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels.
All right, here we go.
Back to throw now on first down. Fighting through pressure. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up second down.
He is just not at his focus in this game. It's not one drop. It's not two. That's 3 for this contest.
Yeah, uncharacteristic for any NFL receiver, and he's no exception. Offense looking to avoid a third and long. It's 2nd and 10.
Detroit! Detroit! 39! Green 39!
They'll set up a throw. His throw caught at about the 5. A good pickup there of 20 yards. First down now, but the clock continues to move. They'll look to throw again. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
They come out here in the eye. So they're on the 5-yard line here, second down and goal. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. Back to throw. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed. But if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively, though, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right. And if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like,
yeah,
you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
They've gone to the fourth up in Seattle, and the Seahawks able to take home that victory. A victory there would mean they're sixth on the year. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So 2nd and 10 here. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Now the Raiders are going to use another timeout here. That'll be their second, so one more chance to stop the clock here. And we'll be back. The Vikings on 3rd down. A pretty anemic, a very anemic 1 for 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. Here's Ryan Quigley now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. This one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. 1 possession game. Time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation. But this is Friday practice every week of the season. You go over this situation, having to go downfield, limited timeouts, got to get out of bounds and keep the drive going and set yourself up. Defensively, you can't just lay back and let them do whatever they want. So it is a cat and mouse deal here. How much pressure will the defense bring, and how much pressure can the offense handle?
We're going to find out.
Let's go! Green 39!
He'll look to throw. And there's that man again. It's complete. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. A really nice gain of 25 yards. And he'll stop it with a spike here with 7 seconds left on the clock. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. He's back to throw. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on.
Pass interference, defense.
This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for Minnesota, the win will help them keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 6-3 on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the Carolina Panthers. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, it'll be loss number 6 on the season for them. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at MetLife Stadium with the New York Jets. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. From Oakland, we sign off. So long, everybody.